Okay, so for each of the following, define the variables and write the system of inequalities. So let's see, a concession stand at a football game sells pop cans and hot dogs. So why don't we start with that? And this is both number of, and if you're not sure, just do this anyways. So just put that down every time and you're safe. So in this particular case, a can of pop costs $1.25, hot dog costs $1.50. The stand owner would like to sell at least $780 worth of goods, so you're going to have these dollar amounts, because that's your profit, right, in front of the variables. So this would be 150, Y, and that has to be at least 780. Okay, so you get a mark. We'll give you a mark for defining and having your implicit constraint. One mark for this inequality. It's all or nothing. So even if the inequality is pointing the wrong way, I'll take off a full mark on the test. But then I'll go by what you wrote when it comes to graphing. The stand has a capacity to hold 175 cans and 450 hot dogs. So it's particular to the cans. Okay, so your number of cans has to be less than or equal to 175. That's a mark. And your hot dogs has to be less than or equal to 450. That's another mark. Okay, so in that case, what I have sometimes is students adding these up, right? Don't write this down, but this would be 625 total. So some students go try something like this, okay? But that is incorrect. This is not right, because it's specific to, it's not saying can hold a maximum of 625 items combined. That would be this statement, but it's not saying that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why this one is out of 4. So make sure you have that written down. Okay. Next, Kyle has 2 jobs. Job A pays $14.50 an hour. Job B pays $18.91 an hour. Kyle would like to know possible combination he could work to maximize income. Okay. He would like to earn at least $645 a week. So that's inequality number 1. So you go 14. Oh, I should define my variable. Sorry. What would X be? Most of you would go job A and job B, and you're so close, but not quite. Would this be number of hours, right? It would only make sense for it to be hours. Hours at job A and hours worked at job B. And so this is continuous. Okay? If it's anything you can measure, like time, distance, weight, anything like that, if that's what your variables are, then it's continuous. So you would not have to round the corner points if you found them. But yet we still state this one. Okay? We still say that it has to be positive. So 1 mark for doing this here, this part. And now we can write 1450x plus 1891y has to be greater than or equal to 645, because you want to make at least, you want this side to be greater than 645. Okay? So that's 1 mark there. Job A needs him to work at least 20 hours per week. So this is specifically to job A. So that has to be greater than or equal to 20. 1 mark for that. So we're just talking hours. There's no coefficient in front of X, just X. So this will be a vertical line, right? Boundary line. Job B pays more, but only allows, it's a little weird the way it's worded, I know. Only allows no more than 25 hours per week. So that has to be less than or equal to 25. Okay, no more is the key here. What if? Okay, just I'm preparing you for for the test or what's down the road. What if this had read allows less than 25 hours per week? Then it would have turned into just this, okay? If it's less than, like you're not 25, it's just less than 25, that would have been less than, okay? I'll just put this on a side here, but don't, we're not going to give a mark to that, but just be, if I ask you to write, I might do that from time to time. Kyle can only afford to work up to 47 hours per week between the two jobs. That's when you want to have this one. Right? Between the two jobs, there has to be less than or equal to 47, so that's another mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are at 5 there. Okay. Determine the inequality of the graph, assume regular shading. So that means that this is the true region, if that's what we've used. Sorry. So the shaded is the true region. That's the most important part. So it's a solid line, and the true region is below. Make that observation right off the top. So you can actually start off this way. Right? Just with that, you can start off that way. That would give you a mark. This gives you a mark already, having the correct inequality. And then we need the slope and the intercept. Intercept is 8, right? Positive. And the slope is going to be negative something x plus 8. And I don't know, it was a bit hard to see, I'm sure. But if you're not 100% sure, see if you can repeat that. For me, the intersection is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4 that way. And keep doing that. Count to 5, and then down 4. And if you land on a perfect intersection again, or on the line, you're doing okay. So this would be negative 4 over 5, right? It's always rise, so vertical, and run. So some students forget that, and you're going to lose marks if you don't get that right. So 1 mark for this part, and 1 mark for that part. So it's basically, if you make any mistake here, even a negative, you lose a mark. But you can still score 1 out of 2 if you get the symbol facing the right way. So we're out of 11 here. Okay? Total of 11. So somewhere at the top or bottom, I don't care. Just make sure the total is there. And your name and last name, because it didn't ask you for it, right? So why would I give you my name if you don't ask me for it? So I'm asking you now, please put your name and last name on there. And before you hand it in, this is just going to be a bonus of 1 if you're able to do that. This is going to draw on yesterday's lesson. I'm going to ask you to write the objective function. Maybe I'll turn this into a bonus of 2. The objective function for amount earned. If I asked you to write an objective function that would tell us how much we've earned on any given week, how would you write that? It's not an inequality. It's not an inequality, it's an equation. Give it a try there. So that would be 1 mark. And this would be another one, hours worked. So you get plus 2 if you get them both right. So I'll give you a minute to write. Give it a try. Nothing to lose, only to gain. What's the objective function for the first one? What's the objective function for the second one? So on Monday, is this running? I'll tell you about Monday. Amount earned. This one would be, you can give it any capital letter. I'll call it E for earnings. And so you just, in this case, we'll have the 1450 in front of X and the 1891 in front of Y. Okay, that would be your objective function that would tell us at any given moment how much you've earned. Hours worked, it'll be, I'll call it H. And obviously we just have to add all the hours at job A, all the hours at job B, that's it. So you get one bonus mark for each objective function. It has to be, if you did inequality, it doesn't count. Okay, it has to be written that way. So you can earn 13 out of 11 if you got those two and everything else right.